Rumble in 2015 or the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view or even possibly WrestleMania to put Daniel Bryan back in a position to eventually challenge for the undisputed WWE World Heavyweight Championship against someone like a Brock Lesnar or a Randy Orton kind of character. That would have been interesting. Obviously, they're not going to go the route of that. Obviously, what they're going to do is they're going to play it off with Daniel Bryan and Brie Bella being married, and then obviously Daniel Bryan is going to respond to how Brie Bella has been conducting herself in a very unprofessional way, and it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out along with Nikki Bella being the champion. There's also the scenario that Brie Bella could turn on her sister just to become the Divas champion again for a record time in her career, becoming a fan favorite again. Maybe she's setting up Nikki Bella and using what I like to use a lot of the time, reverse psychology, as an example of what goes on in professional wrestling. I really love how wrestlers tend to use reverse psychology, which is never enough done in professional wrestling. So it would be fun to see if Brie Bella implies the strategy of using reverse psychology, if that makes any sense to you at all, on our sister. That would really change things up in the Divas division. And we have a great international feel being presented to the Divas division for challengers for Nikki Bella to go up against and to use that rack attack on like Paige. We have Bayley, we have Charlotte, we have a lot of up-and-coming divas who I expect to premiere in the Divas division early in 2015 before WrestleMania or after WrestleMania, kind of like how they brought Paige in the night after WrestleMania 30 when AJ had successfully defended her title against 13 divas in a 14 diva invitational. She was in a 1-in-14 position of not retaining her championship. She defeated the odds like she had for the 295 days. She was the longest reigning Divas champion in history. She was one of the greatest Divas champions. Along with that, I have been quoted in saying this on this radio show, despite AJ not being a 4-time Divas champion at this point in her career. But that promise, you kind of got to hold AJ to that, because in 2015, AJ is going to do incredible things and probably even more incredible things, surpassing what she did in the previous year in 2013 and dominating for over at least half of 2014 with how she was voted as Diva of the Year at this year's Slammy Awards. You have to expect big things for AJ with every candidate that went up against AJ for that award. With Paige, of course, we had Nikki Bella all nominated within the same category. And it was interesting how AJ accepted the award. She said that next year anyone could be up for the award. Charlotte, Bayley, Sasha, anybody could claim the right of being Diva of the Year in 2015. But AJ promises at least one thing will come into fruition. In 2015, she'll be a 4-time Divas champion. That's if she can take that title off of Nikki Bella, as this feud continues to definitely heighten in emotion and unpredictability. And that's what I really love about AJ and Nikki Bella's feud. You know, taking Brie Bella out of the equation here for a little bit, I really love how unpredictable the feud is and how it kind of keeps you guessing and wondering what's going to happen from one minute to the next. Nobody knew that the Bella twins were going to reunite and both become heel characters. They thought they were going to run. The majority of the wrestling fan population thought they were going to run with both Bella twins feuding with each other, and Brie Bella was going to be the fan favorite with the changing of the entrance music and a little bit of a change up in the persona. And that's what I thought, to be honest with you. I didn't think for 1 minute the Bella twins were going to set up AJ the way that they did with that kiss from Brie Bella to AJ, definitely heightening the emotion between the feud between both Bella twins now and AJ, and the unpredictability heading in to the Royal Rumble. That's going to be really interesting to see what kind of storyline we have for the Divas division by the Royal Rumble in January, with how many big predictions are being made for the Royal Rumble winner, the championship match that could happen at the Royal Rumble with Brock Lesnar coming in and defending the title. Who will Nikki Bella defend that title against? Obviously, it'll be someone like Brie Bella or AJ, and it would be interesting if we had a 3-way match between both Bella twins and AJ for that championship, with Brie Bella wanting a desire to be champion all of a sudden rekindled from her earlier years in her career when it was reversed and Brie Bella was the champion all the time. Again, you know, going back to reverse psychology, it's interesting what they have done here. Remember when Brie Bella used to be Divas champion all the time and she was winning a record number of times? If she wins it again, she'll win it for a record number of times in her career. But it's interesting what they've done here using reverse psychology. What I was saying here earlier, instead of Brie Bella being champion all the time now, it's Nikki Bella in the position of dominance, being the Divas champion all the time. She's now a 2-time Divas champion. I really don't know what happened the first time that Nikki Bella was champion. She was fired within 6 days of her reign as champion. I believe it was Layla who returned a couple of days before the Bella twins were both fired on an edition of Monday Night Raw so unprofessionally, and they became very vocal on the internet on forums discussing what happened with their release, and they were going by their real names. They were appearing on independent wrestling shows. They were even appearing on Ring of Honor on tours. So that was interesting how the Bella twins dealt with the release. You know, they wanted everybody to know, from wrestling radio show hosts to columnists, what really happened with the release, and they were signed with the purpose of promoting this reality show, Total Divas. And they've been back, and they've been better than ever, in my opinion. And they've been far more impressive from the first half of their career. And this second half of the Bella Twins' career, I think, is going to go a long way in solidifying their legacies as possibly two of the greatest Divas wrestlers of all time. They have both been Divas champion an equal number of times, and they have definitely tried to outperform one another throughout their respective singles careers, and they've been unable to do it because both Bella Twins, in my opinion, are equally impressive. Now, right now, the spotlight seems to be on Nikki Bella, and Brie Bella, I think, if you were to ask her, would be very content with the idea of Nikki Bella now being the dominant Bella Twin and the Bella Twin, once again, putting the in quotations. And that's an interesting poll that we could throw up on our website. Which one of the Bella Twins do you believe is the more dominant one of the two? Is it either Brie Bella, in your opinion, which it's always been, seemingly, or is it now Nikki Bella, who is the more dominant Bella Twin? I'll probably throw that poll up on our website for you to get the results from. And the results of that poll, I would venture to say, will be very interesting because of how many fans we have out there of each respective Bella Twins. I think we have an equal number of fans of both Brie and Nikki Bella. Some fans probably think that Nikki Bella has definitely been overshadowed by Brie Bella in the past, and obviously they believe that this storyline was derived from that. Definitely, I think that Brie Bella has definitely overshadowed her sister's success in her career. Definitely the only time that Nikki Bella was even noticed was when they were in tag team action against some of the Divas within the division, like when they were promoting Eve and Kelly Kelly. It seemed like the Bella Twins were being used as put-over girls in the earlier years of their career, definitely in the first half of their career when they were putting over divas like Eve Torres and Kelly Kelly, which they did very effectively. In 2011, when Kelly Kelly won the Divas title for the first time ever, look what the Bella Twins did for her career. I mean, they made her into one of the greatest Divas champions of the history of that championship, since a champion like Michelle McCool or Maurice, who held the record before AJ surpassed it of 216 days. If not for the Bella Twins, would Kelly Kelly or Eve ever have gotten into the position that they were currently in? Or would have someone like Caitlyn ever been given the opportunity? The Bella Twins definitely may have been used as put-over girls, but now I think what's being done here is they're finally being rewarded for everything that they did, and I have to give them the benefit of the doubt because they are being very diligent, and they are hanging in there, and they are being rewarded for it. They have been there probably longer than anyone on the current roster when it comes to either women's division in WWE, from the Divas division to the NXT women's division. It seems like you're lucky now if you get 5 to 6 years out of a Diva, and along with how much consistency we have seen in the Divas division, that says a lot because there's way too much consistency that happens in the Divas division, and for how much consistency we see with the same champions all the time, the same number one contenders, I definitely have to give the Bella Twins credit where credit is due. You have to give the Devils their due, as the old saying goes, because of how much consistency we see in the same old thing being very repetitive in the Divas division and the NXT women's division. Of course, the Bella Twins, of course, had a pro role on NXT when they were the managers of, I believe it was Jamie Keys, that was their rookie that they were mentoring, and they were the pros of. They've even had a role on NXT, so that demonstrates diligence, especially for a division that has so much consistency. And they have been there for what now, 7 to 8 years? I'd say it's time to be rewarded for everything the Bella Twins have done, and definitely my hat's off to both Bella Twins to getting their careers both respectively to where they are right now, and I think they're going to be staying there for quite some time. Now, I have all the respect in the world for AJ. I've been definitely developing a habit over the last number of years where I've been putting over AJ in somewhat of a YouTube video series, which I've archived diligently and very dedicatedly on this YouTube channel at Jonathan Clarke 22. I am going to hold myself to the comments that I made about AJ. I'm going to stand to that, about how I believe that AJ was one of the greatest Divas champion, if not the greatest Divas champions of the last maybe 10 years. It's amazing, you know, when you put into perspective the history of the women's title and the Divas title. Definitely the women's championship has a more lengthy history than the Divas championship. But the thing is, the Divas championship, I think that AJ is definitely one of the greatest champions we have seen of the last 10 years. Now, the title was incepted, the Divas Championship, in 2008, with the inaugural champion being Michelle McCool, and shortly after that, Maurice went on to establish herself as the longest reigning Divas champion in the history of the title of 216 days before AJ surpassed the record, going about a couple of more weeks over Maurice's reign, making her a 295-day reigning champion. She was so grateful of that opportunity, and that's the reason why the fans voted her on the app as the Diva of the Year, which is something I agree with how impressive AJ has been with her skills inside of the ring and how she's really adapted adapted against every style and every different persona that she's had to face and adapt to in professional wrestling. Nobody else utilizes that octopus, renaming it the Black Widow, as effectively as what AJ does in her arsenal as a submission hold. She's a submission specialist. She's definitely held her own against some of the top names in the Divas division, so she's definitely worthy of being the champion, and I think that she is definitely the greatest Divas or women's champion that we have seen in the last maybe 10 years. She's not a Trish Stratus, and she still has a long way to go, but I think that she's going to get there in time, and fans are going to remember her contributions for a long time to come. And in terms of the Bella Twins, I think that nobody is going to forget the Bella Twins. You can look, but you can't touch, and I've been very impressed by the Bella Twins over the last number of months, and I'll continue to be impressed by both the Bella Twins heading into 2015, because I think this is going to be the biggest year. This is a prediction that I'm throwing out there. I think it's going to be the biggest year we have ever seen for both of the Bella Twins, and I think we're going to see the Bella Twins win that Divas Championship a record number of times. Now, you may criticize me because I've been saying that I've been a fan of the Bella Twins for forever, just the same as I've been saying about AJ, but the thing is, yes, I'm a big fan of the Bella Twins. I've said it on Blog Talk Radio a number of times. I've said it on these video reviews on my YouTube channel a number of times, and I stand to that. Anyone that you can get 7 or 8 years out of, you definitely have to give credit to where credit is due, and you have to give the Devils their due. The Bella Twins make a fantastic combination. So then you sit back and you wonder why, after feuding since the summer of 2014, when Nikki Bella turned on her sister, apparently, why did they bring the Bella Twins back together as a team? Obviously because it's more effective to distribute the Bella Twins as a team, as a heel team or a fan favorite team, which obviously we'll see the Bella Twins rekindle. They'll go back to being fan favorites like they did when they returned. They were heels for a short amount of time, and they became fan favorites because of the success of Total Divas Seasons 1 and 2, and now Season 3 coming up. We're going to